Check, check, check. What's going on, everybody? This is Sean Danny live from Rail Yard Billiards. Right now, featured match on the TV table is going to be D. Adkins versus John Ash. We are playing a handicapped one-pocket tournament. Can everybody hear me? So for this one, let me make sure I have the handicaps right. I know D is the highest player in the field as far as handicap goes. He's playing as a 13. And John's playing as a 5. Let me pull up the handicap sheet so I know exactly what they're racing to ball count wise. It's going to be a race to 3 games. Right now, D might actually bank this ball into the stack. Don't really know that it does a whole lot for him. He might just bank it over and then hide behind the stack too. Oh, he actually went for it. That's the problem with that shot right there, is that you almost have to put a lot of right spin. It takes it up towards the top corner pocket almost every time. John says, nice leave, D. I'm actually going to turn the player or the table mic up a little bit so you can hear a little bit more. Pretty good return shot from John. Didn't really leave much. Don't really know what D's going to do with this shot. I'd say you could bank the 3 and then go in between the 5 and the 10, 7 right there, but it's still kind of tough. Oh, he actually played the combination bank. That's beautiful. From this spot, I think he's just going to skim the 10 and go above the stack, protect the 1 and the 15 ball. Yep. All right, let's see if I can, I don't know why. Probably just going to bank the 7 ball up table a little bit. Might try and come back into the stack if he's feeling a little froggy. Yep. That's a beautiful shot. Didn't quite get on the 11-14, but he protected the 1 and the 15, and that's really all that matters with that shot. You just don't want your opponent to see it to be able to clear it out. So right here, he might be skimming the 10 and then going underneath. He's probably just going to skim off the 15, try to put him in the exact same spot. Oh, he actually went a little higher. Might have let him see the 9. Tim, you're not wrong. Tim, I think you'd enjoy it. If you like bar box 8 ball, then one pocket, I mean, it's different, obviously, but there's a lot of similar things with it. There's a lot of clutter, and you have to be real smart with how you move and position balls. Really touchy game, too.
Bradley Black, Nathan Weatherly, table 6. Bradley Black, Nathan Weatherly, table 6.
Guys, if you don't mind, go ahead and like and share the video. It helps out with getting more people to watch. We'd like for everyone to be able to see it. Athena, it sure is. Just over here hanging out. Let's see. Honestly, if D can see the entire one ball, he might play it to play back up for the 15. If he can't, he might play the 15 and try and drop below down for the 7. Not really. Looks like he's lined up on the 1 from this angle. Yeah. Oh, he actually was able to spin out of it and draw back for the 7 or the 14. If the 14 goes by the 7, he's looking pretty good here. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was supposed to look up what the ball count race is. So in this handicap, I do believe, I know D's a 13. I got to make sure. Yeah, John's a 5. So the ball count race is 12 to 4. D has to make 12 before John makes 4. That's not absurd, but it's tough action, that's for sure. D's going to be spotting everybody in the field at least a ball, if not 2. Probably playing the 12 ball. Oh, he went for the 2-rail bank on the 9. Wow. And he would have come out safe, too, even if he would have missed it. Now he's going to play the 12. I think he's going to try and come up right above it on the right-hand side of the 2. Or the high side of the 2, I guess. I think he rolled a little too far. I think he can still make the 2, but I think he was wanting to play in between the 11 and the 10, or bump the 11 whenever he made the 2. That way he had a shot on the 10. Get in shape after this shot's not going to be easy. Tim, are you talking to me with the let's play a game to warm up? Because if you are, I hate to break it to you, I'm not going to be playing in the Christmas tourney. I'll probably end up behind the scenes helping out with everything It's going to be less than ideal. Maybe not. I thought he was going to end up straight in on the ball. I think he's got enough angle to where he can stun off of it with a little bit of. Honestly, he might just need to play it with a little bit of right hand spin to be able to come off and come over for the 11-10. Yep. Needs to bump it. Didn't quite get there. He's got a bank on the 11 though, as long as it's not in the double kiss. Sorry, Zach. I'm not trying to kill your action. I just had to make sure. Oh, and Zach, by the way, I got your text message. I just didn't answer. I do appreciate it. I just went for the safety. So let's see. That puts D up at. There's 7. D's got 8, so it's a race to 4 balls right now. Athena, I offered to let him commentate. I mean, if he comes up here, there's room in the booth. I'm only gonna be here until about 6 or 6:30, I do believe. Athena, it just depends on if the wife's gonna let him come up here, I guess. I'm lonely back here anyway. I don't know what he's playing here. I guess he's just gonna bump the 10. Ended up pretty good on it. If D can't see the 11, he ended up really good. If D can see the 11, he's just probably gonna skim off the 11 and come back down to the bottom rail. Zach, you're getting a tattoo while you're watching this? Tim, I know you can't make it. You're in, what, Portland? Pretty good cue ball right there. Also, I think he just has to push the 11 ball up. You don't want to get above the 5, though, because then that'll leave D a cross-corner bank on it. Yep. And I think he took away the 2-railer right there. If the 11 wouldn't have gotten in the way, he might have been able to 2-rail the 8, but that would have been kind of a iffy shot, because if you can't get the cue ball back down below the 5, you kind of sell out. Right here, D, I don't really know. I guess he could just skim the 5 and stick it over in the pile. That way, whenever he gets a free opportunity to play a bank, He's kind of setting himself up. Just make it to where the 5's not makeable all the way down the rail, or not. Hey guys, I'm just making sure the stream's not frozen, is it? Thank y'all. It's showing that it's frozen on my screen, but I didn't think it was. I didn't figure y'all would be sticking around if it was frozen. Am I too loud today, or am I good volume? Let's see, what does John have here? Honestly, I think you just got to skim off the 6 and try and come back down, stay on the right-hand side of the table. That way, if D does want to take a shot at a bank, he's got to really turn the cue ball loose. I think that's the ideal shot. Or you could do the same thing with the 11. You can leave the 6-10 kind of stacked up. You just don't want to leave the cue ball up table. Oh, he barely nicked it. It was a good hit. Now, honestly, I think this was probably D's strategy coming into it, is get a really good run in and then get the balls up table. That way he can kind of control the pace of the game and he can dictate what shots he can and can't leave John. He's going to try and stay on the 13, yep. Didn't leave a bank. John's best shot right here is just skimming off the 13, coming back down to the bottom end of the table, trying to freeze the cue ball on the rail. Joseph, it is a 12-4 race in ball count, yes. Race to 3 games. Guys, if you don't mind, like, share. Try and get the video out. Try and get as many viewers as possible. One thing I didn't do yesterday is throw in my shameless plug of we are having a really big pro-style tournament the week before Derby, so Louisville's going to be really busy for 2 straight weeks. It is the same weekend as the Music City Open, but we're having, I do believe it's a 128-player bar box 9-ball. Maybe 48, don't quote me on the numbers, but I think it might be a 48-player big table 10-ball. Having a Banks Ring game, 12-player max, $1,000 entry. And then we are also doing a one pocket, open one pocket. I believe that's a 16-player max with a $2,000 entry. Yeah, D kind of took a swing there. He didn't leave anything. That's the important part. Now John's just going to have to bank this ball straight back up the table and try and leave the cue ball down on the rail. Oh, he actually tried to play for the 3 rail. He's probably not going to like the outcome, though. Turn the table mic up a little bit more. Really good shot there by D. Let's see what he's going to come up with. Don't really see any bankable balls. I think he's just going to have to play a positional shot, try and put himself in a better position. I think he needs to move the 6 personally. He's had plenty of chances to be able to swing at the 6, but with it being lined up with the 10, it doesn't bank straight back to his pocket unless he blasts it and tries to hold it. So that's another ball for D. Ball counts 9-0. He's going to come out all right there. I think he's going to leave a bank on the 11. This one, though, I don't believe the 4 ball's in the way at all. If it is, he can play it a little straighter, but put a little bit of outside English to kind of twist the ball as it comes off the rail. But you have to hit it at a slower pace because if you don't, the twist doesn't like to take. I think he's just going to push the 5 up past the 13 and then put the cue ball on the 13. That's the way it looks like he's trying to line up. Honestly, I don't think he has to cut the ball at all for that shot either. I think it's just straight forward, really. Oh, he actually played the bank. Kind of a tricky spot. Honestly, whenever it's in a dead kiss angle like it looks like it is, I prefer just kicking down underneath and sending the ball back up table. Just like that. It got kind of unfortunate they didn't have a cross corner bank there, but if he can actually clear it by the 6, the 3 rail bank here looks pretty good. It's almost a stop shot, and he wouldn't have to do much. He might be able to play it straight back, too, with a little bit of throw. He threw it too much. Oh, that's unfortunate. Is he back cutting it? Just got to worry about making the ball. All right, John's back to even. Sorry about that. I forgot to mark that he scratched. I think he's going to hang it. Yeah, that ball's actually diggable, too. He can cross over it. I've got almost a perfect line on it. I don't know how much he has to cut the 11. I think he's got to play shape for the top side of the table. Yeah, that was always going to be tough whenever you're trying to really power that ball through. John's got a good chance here to get on the hill for this game. He's got angle to where he can either play up for the 5 or he can drag it across and play for the 11. I think he's going to play for the 5. I think he underhit it if he wanted the 5, but he's got the 11 and the perfect angle to come up for the 5 ball. Center ball with maybe a tad bit of outside to help keep it on a good line to play up for the 5. And if he gets straight enough on the 5, he can play the 2 ball straight back. can swing between the 10 and 6. Is that the 2 ball or the 4 ball? That's the 4 ball. I think he got a little wider than he wanted to if he's trying to play the 4. But he can play a stop shot on the 4 and just lag it down by his hole. He hit it a little bit hard. Lefty a really long cut. D went a little wide with it, but he's going to end up all right. I don't think he's going to leave a bank on it. He might actually hide the 6. Can't tell if John can see a little piece of it or not. If he can see a piece of it, he can bank it. And if he can't see a piece of it, another shot that I really like, you have to be really accurate with it, but you can actually bank this 4 ball and drop the cue ball down below the 6. And if you miss the 4, you clear the 4 ball clear all the way up. D doesn't really have that opportunity here with the 4 though, because it's just a really small window that you have to have the cue ball in. I think John's got him hidden on the 6. Now he's got the angle to where he can play a kick and stick off the 6 if he wants to, but he might just go all out for the 4 ball. Or he might be able to see a little piece of the 6 and try and spin it in. This shot, if you put too much in or too much outside, it looks like he's actually putting inside on it now. Yeah. If you put too much outside on that, sometimes when it comes off the bottom rail, you can actually scratch in the side pocket from where you're shooting at. I think that's what made him want to put inside on it instead. D's got him stacked up, it looks like, as far as playing the 6. He's just going to skim off the 4. Try and get back behind the 6, but he missed it. That's a touchy shot. I'd actually rather just kick at the 6 ball if you can't see it than try and play something as touchy as that with as small of a window as you got. Just going to make this 4 ball, and he's going to take whatever he gets to bank the 10 ball straight back at his pocket. It looks like he's going to draw out of it to try and give himself a better angle on the 10. Just 1 rail out. Just like that. Now we're fighting for 1 ball apiece. He's going to play at pocket speed, no need to try and bury it in. He hit it way too straight. And he's going to leave a really nice bank opportunity. Really surprised he didn't get that pocket speed. I don't know if something distracted him or not. John's going to be all right here. I think this is going to be in a kiss angle. Depending on which side he's on, though, he might be able to really spin the cue ball out of the way. The problem is you can scratch one in the side, or you can scratch two in the corner, depending on how much English you put on it. Missed the scratch in the side. Just wasn't able to quite hit it hard enough. It's tough to get the cue ball out of the way, though, so I don't blame him for not really turning the cue ball loose. John needs to act like he's just two-railing this ball out and just try and put it up by the corner pocket on his right. Oh, he went for a three-railer. I think he made it. Nope, came up a little short. He's probably just gonna skim off the 10 ball and come down to the bottom side of the table. I don't see him staying up on the top side. There's no reason to. On this, you really just kind of have to bank the ball back over on your side and leave the cue ball on the rail. You can't really try and do too much with it. Just like that. You just don't want to make the ball, that's for sure. He actually left it good enough. I don't think D's got any choice but to try and either bank the ball back over to his side, or he can make the ball, put the ball back on the spot, and leave the cue ball frozen to either the long rail or the end rail. Make it difficult for your opponent to cue, and he might make a mistake. You can go either way with it. Then again, D's got a lot more shots in his repertoire than I do. Well, that's one way to make the ball. You can either play this ball straight forward like you were two-railing it and leave the cue ball down on the bottom rail, or you can cross over the top of it. It'll send the 10 ball actually back towards your side if you cross it, and then it'll leave the cue ball on the rail. You just can't hit it too hard to where the cue ball really bounces out. See, I don't like that shot in particular, and it's just because of how loose you're turning the cue ball. He might have gotten a little fortunate. I think D can cross over this ball with a little bit of inside, and it'll help throw the ball off the rail. He actually might be able to just do it with a little bit of top. Yeah, he put a little bit of inside. He actually overthrew it, but he didn't leave a return bank, so that's all that really matters. For those of y'all who don't know, this is actually D's handicap system that we're using, so at a 12-4 race, he did it to himself. That's all I'm going to say. He actually tried to play the kick cross corner. I thought he was just measuring it to play a kick and stick and send the 10 ball back up table. Now with this shot, D's probably just gonna put the 10 ball back up table. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't try and leave the cue ball down there. I guess shot gets a little touchier whenever you're trying to really be precise with the cue ball. Well, Tim, you shoot good enough. It just depends on if you can move with D or not. Then again, you don't like big table, or so you tell me. D's gonna go ahead and play this ball cross corner, I think. And I'm just not really the biggest fan of that because you're trying not to get too careless with the cue ball, but you have to hit it hard enough. I'd rather just cross over the top of the ball, leave the cue ball down on the end rail, and then make your opponent make a shot. Tim, I know you hate big table. You tell me all the time. You won't ever play me on the big table. D got fortunate they didn't lose game one. He's probably going to be able to cross this ball over, though. He's going to kill the cue ball a little bit with the English he's going to put on it. That's that shot I was talking about. Whenever you put that much English on the ball, it really takes off the rail, so you almost have to hit it a little harder than you really want to try and mitigate it going straight for the side pocket. Honestly, if I'm John, I'm just going all out to make this ball. I'm not even worrying about where the 10 ball's at. Because if you miss it no matter what and you don't dig the 10 ball out, you're probably going to lose. And I would probably not playing this pocket speed. I'm probably giving it a little bit of juice. That way, if you do miss it, if you miss it right, the 6 ball comes up table, makes the out a little bit harder for D. So D's got a backboard here. He can actually shorten up the bank a little bit, or he can play the 6 ball down to the bottom rail and then it'll go in off the 10. He can go either way with it. Or he'll just make it clean and not worry about it. Tim, it'll help your game out a lot, especially playing on the 8 and 9 foot diamonds with 4 1/4 inch pockets we have here at Rail Yard. Game 1, Mr. D. Adkins. Got 8 diamond 9 footers with 4 1/4 inch pockets, and then I'm going to tell you a wrong number. I think we have 24 diamond bar boxes with pro cut pockets at 4 1/2 inches. I actually put quarters on this table hoping that it would help us be able to see the game count, but I still can't see it. Just means I'm actually going to have to pay extra attention. It's a pretty nice break by D. Honestly, I just kind of like banking the 1 ball and dragging the cue ball down behind everything. I don't think he got a rail on that one, nope. The problem with that shot too is you're leaving D on the bottom side of the 5, and he's very capable of banking this ball. Oh, I guess they're saying he did. Tim, you might be right. I'm going to ask Kyle the next time I see him. So even though D didn't make the ball, and I know he was wanting to, he's put himself in a really good position. It's hard to get the 5 out without leaving another shot. So D has an option to either try and play the 6 ball if it's not in the kiss line, but the problem with that is he's jacked up over the 5. He's capable of making it, but even if he does make it, he's going to have another bank on the 2. I don't think he's going to. Oh no, he was able to push the cue ball forward through. The 10-5 is not necessarily a dead ball, but it's close enough that I know he's not going to miss it. The problem is getting a good shot on the 10 afterwards. He's just really going to draw this ball out and probably play for the 8. He might even play for the 12 if he's really feeling like it. No, he played for the 8. Play for the 8 here, and he can either play the 8, and if he's on the right side of it, he can draw back for the 12. But if he's not, he can stun down for the 7 or play for the bank on the 10 ball. He's got plenty of options here. Chose to play for the 12. Now he can play a stop shot on the 12 here, or he can just stun over towards the pack, and that'll help stop the cue ball, and he can play the 7 next. I think he came up a little bit short on that. I think he's back cutting it a little bit more than he wanted to. He might actually overrun the 9 and just play for the 1 instead, and then after the 1 he'll sweep on over for the 9. So D got 6 balls out of that one. John actually came up pretty fortunate there. I don't think any of these balls banked. Guys, give me just 1 second. Be patient with me. I am trying to change something in the bracket real quick. All right, Tim, I'll eat crow. It was 22. All right, got the bracket all figured out. We accidentally put race to 5, and it's actually a race to 3. Zach, you don't got to know the game to. Well, you got to know the game to play it. Obviously, you know the game. You just haven't played it enough. But that's why this is a handicap tournament. The handicaps go from 5 to 13, and I mean, you would have been a 5. I don't think D turned that ball enough, but he got safe, and I think he actually hid the 15. I don't know. He might have poked out. Now, John's at least going to be able to kick at this ball for sure, but if he can see it enough to cross over it, that might be the shot. If you kick at the ball, you're probably going to leave a bank unless you just leave the ball frozen on the end rail. I think he's just, yeah, it's a really good shot there. Really good shot. John said, I only got to go to 4 balls. I'm taking a shot. Lawrence, I think it was close enough. You're talking about whenever he nudged the 15 with his hand a little bit. I probably could have stepped in and told him where it should have been, but if D was cool with it, I'm cool with it. I'm not going to interfere in their match. Let's see, who do we got out here on the outer tables? Got Lou DeMarco, local pro, playing Josh Wilson Sr. out on one of the outer tables. Got Goldie's son here for the one pocket tournament. I was kind of surprised he chose the one pocket over the A-ball tournament. Then again, I know his father Goldie was a much bigger fan of the game of one pocket. I think that was just his favorite game in general. A lot of them old school gamblers that just loved the game of one pocket. So he might be playing one pocket in homage. Let's see. Right here, I kind of like skimming off the 14 and dropping down to the bottom rail. I don't like moving the 15-10 right now. You're not at a really good angle, and you see the problem with that is now you're leaving a bank on the 15, and the only thing stopping him is maybe a scratch in the side pocket, but I think he can beat it. And if he makes this ball, then he's going to have plenty of opportunity to shoot at his hole. Just has to hit it hard enough to get there. Oh, I was on a better line than that. It was on a really good line. On the broadside, he made the ball, and I actually think the 8 ball is blocking him from being able to see. Tilt the camera down a little bit so I can see the ball count. I'm off by a ball. I was dealing with getting matches going on the 8 ball side, and I just didn't see who made it. I'm actually going to step out there real quick. D's actually liable to run out. No, I'll just wait. D's liable to run out the rest of this rack, and I'll figure out real quick who's got what. It's either 7-1 or 6-2. He might have gone too far to be able to see the 1. Yeah, I don't know. It's tight. If he can, though, he can play a little draw off of it and come over for the 8. I don't think he wants to hit the. He might be playing the 3-1 combo if he can't see enough of the 1. I mean, it's actually kind of free as long as you don't draw all the way up for the all the way up to the top side on the right side of the 14. Yeah, that's a good shot. Hides the 1 ball, doesn't leave a bank. I think he left a bank on the 3, but that's a sellout shot. Unless you're playing cue ball and you're not trying to make the 3. Even if you make the 3, you're not going to get a good shot on your next ball, most likely. Unless you're able to draw back up for the 8, but at that point I think the ball's going wide, yeah. Right here, D can just move the 10 ball up table, and he's still going to be able to hide the 1. I think he's a little too straight on the 13 to be able to bank it down by the hole. Yep. Right here, you just got to bank the 10 ball straight back towards, I mean, you can cross over it and try and put it on your side of the table, but you're better off just leaving the clutter on D's side and getting the cue ball down to the rail. Oh, he actually went for the shot there. He really is just swinging at anything. Not anything, but, I mean, he's trying to get out, that's for sure. D might start off here with the, I was thinking he might start off with the 8, but I think he's going to start off with the 1 and play up for the 4 ball. Good shot. So now it should be 7-1. Tim, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure that John had 2. Is he drawing this ball? I don't think he got enough of it. Didn't quite get there. I think the 10 ball's froze, which means the bank is even more difficult. Yeah. Just going to put the 10 ball on his side, leave the cue ball frozen to the end rail. That's a smart shot. I think D can cross over this ball, but it's the same issue with that scratch he had last game. The cue ball is going to tend to go towards the side pocket with the amount of ink. Well, on the bright side, D made that. Zach, I've told you many times I'll teach you to play one pocket. You just let me know when, man. We'll spar around. So D just needs a ball and John needs them all. That would have been a brutal way to scratch. Zach, how much longer is your inked appointment? I think that's going to end up a little bit less than ideal for John. D only needs this ball. Just like that, 2-0 D. On the hill. I'll be right back, everybody. Pretty good shot there by D. Didn't really sell anything out. All right, sorry about that, everybody. I had to help out one of the staff members here. I don't even know what the ball count is. I think D's the one that made the ball. There's only 14 on the table, and I think I remember glancing over while he was shooting at something. Looks like he's just going to skim off the 10. He might actually hit it a little fatter. That way he can kind of try and open all those balls up on his side. He's probably going to try and leave him somewhere around the 6-9 area. I don't know. He went. Just moved the 9 instead. Left the cue ball good. Didn't leave a bank. 10 ball would have been tough to bank anyway. Oh, John made the ball, not D. I'm wrong. I'm rooting for John. That's my pony. I got him way too cheap for how straight he shoots. Trying to remember who else I got. Oh, I got Payne McBride. That's right. That's my other pony. He's not a one-pocket player by any means. Well, he's a pool player. I don't think he's played too terribly much one pocket. But I still like his game. With how straight he shoots, he's got a chance. I got him way too cheap. That's for sure. I'll tell you what, this is a rather difficult job because not only am I doing the commentary, folks, that's why if I ever go dark for a few minutes, it's because I'm also keeping up with the 8-ball bracket, the one-pocket bracket, reporting scores. I'm trying to do everything at once and let Kyle have his fun and play while he stands over there and talks to people. We were all making jokes earlier that I'm the cheapest employee Rail Yard's got at the moment. That was a really nice shot there by D. I don't think he got much reward out of it. I mean, I've already seen him play a 2-rail bank once, but I don't think he's going to do that with the 10 ball sitting where it is. All right. So Bradley Black beating Nathan Weatherly 3-1. Good shot there by D. Just trying to cover him up. So I know John's only got one ball, which means D's got three because there's four off the table. Excuse me. I don't know if he can make the six or not. I mean, it looks like he's shooting it. I think he's trying to draw into the nine to be able to play over for the four. Oh no, he tried to play a carom shot. Tried to play down for the 10. Looks like he's going to bank at the 14. Sorry, everybody. Tim, I don't play tournaments very often, man. I'm not a huge fan of them. I only play when I'm stealing. And I'm playing Scotch doubles with an underrated player. No, I'm kidding. Really good shot there by D. I thought that was in a kiss line. I think he put a lot of inside on it to avoid the kiss. Tim, shouldn't you be flying right now? Nobody even wants you here in the chat. Score 6-1. D's got to make 12 before John makes 4. I'm not gonna lie, this handicap system is not easy. It is rough. I think he's actually trying to bank the 5 ball straight back. I don't know. It looks like he's got to put a lot of inside. He's got to. I don't think he can hit it hard, but oh, that's gonna hurt. He was really trying to draw out of that ball. Let's see. If I'm John, I got to make 3 balls. If the 14's out of the kitchen, and by the way, we are playing the entire ball has to be out of the kitchen, not half the ball. I do believe. If the 14's out of the kitchen, though, I'm playing the 14 if it goes by the 10, then the 10, and then taking the bank on the 4. See, it looks like John made the 7 there. Sorry, I was assigning a table for the 8-ball tournament. Should be 8 balls on the table. Yep, 5-2. John only needs 2 more balls. Come on, Pony. I don't think he's going to quite get there. I think he was trying to play up for the 13, try and get in between the 13-12. Tim, you're right. It is beneath me. Too good for that. Can't help it. Played at good speed, as long as it didn't catch the point and sit down to where it was still bankable. It was a really good shot. You got cue ball down below there, too. Oh, Tim, don't be that way. Tim will make you feel better if I say I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm going to. I just want to know if it'll make you feel better. Good shot there, leaving the cue ball on the end rail. These cue ball is really good. I forgot. D's got 6. Don't worry, Zach, I'm not. I don't know about that shot. I think he's going to leave a cross corner on the 3 if it clears the 1. The question is, does D want to really power it down, put some power behind it to get the cue ball down, or does he just want to float it down and play at pocket speed to where John either has to make a decision on clearing the 3 or shooting the 1? It looks like he's going to actually draw out of it and try and play to the top side of the 4. I think on this shot he can go ahead and spin around the 3 and play a kick and stick, send the 3 ball over to his side. I was hitting it soft. Good shot. Sometimes whenever you play a kick and stick with that much English and you hit it hard, your cue ball really take off the rail. So it's pretty wise to just go ahead and play it at a soft speed. See, I don't like going up into those because if you don't hit it just right, you're leaving a bank no matter what. I think he would have been better off skimming the left side of him and possibly bringing the cue ball all the way back down table. Well, he left a back cut on the 4, I think. And D drilled it. Now, I don't know if he's got the angle to draw back off the 13. He might be a little bit too much of a cut, and it might draw into the side pocket, but I think he's going to go for it anyway. Good shot. D needs 4. John only needs 2. Probably going to play up for the top side. Yeah. He went for it. I think the 14 will actually still bank. I don't think it's going to hit the 10. I might be wrong, but actually, yeah, I think I am wrong. I don't know. He might be able to twist off the rail. It's where the ball turned the entire way down the table, but it's tough. I already got hit with a copyright tag. Had to turn the table mic down. We've got music playing, as most pool halls do, and I guess the table mic was picking up a little bit too much of it. Had to take care of that. Got a good mix going today, though. Pearl Jam, not bad. So let's see, what is D going to play here? He might just play off the 3, bank it over to John's side, but the problem with that is it's actually doing more for your opponent than anything. I think I would have actually preferred him moving the 6 ball out to a point where it's bankable instead of leaving it on the rail. Because right now the only way that ball banks for D is 3 rails in the corner, and that's a low percentage shot. Lower percentage than a straight back would be. Oh, that's going to be, that's going to hurt a little bit. I'm not going to say that D is going to run out here because the 14's obviously in the kitchen. He has to shoot the 7 ball first. He's probably going to lag this 7 ball down, make it, and play shape for the bank on the 3. Either that or he might actually try and spin around the 3 off the bottom rail. That's what he did. Might get a little thin. No, I think he's actually going to end up all right. Now you got to do is make the 3 ball and the 10 ball bank, and it might actually get safe. If you get the right angle, you're going to play the 10 ball down to your pocket, and then you're going to leave the cue ball on the long rail on the left-hand side. Just got to make the 3 first, though. Either way, D needs 3, and so's John. It's 9-1. Guys, once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you don't mind, like the video, share it, try and get it out to as many people as humanly possible. A lot of work goes into setting up this stream. Had to rerun some cables this morning because one of the not HDMI's, one of the Ethernet cables wasn't connecting right. The camera was not being received back here, so we were up in ladders running cables through the ceiling, trying to make sure that we had this stream set up for everybody to be able to watch today. So if you don't mind, just go ahead and share the video. Tell people to sweat it. And D's going to end up all right there. He was wanting the ball to be on the end rail, but I mean, it's close enough. The 3 ball's going to get sent back up table. He's going to play the 3-ball straight back. Probably, I'd say he's probably a 60-40% favorite to make this. Hit it pretty good. Now 10 ball's going 2 rails if I were a betting man. A lot of people forget that D's I think a multi-time all-around winner at the Derby. Probably going to get this wrong, but I think he's won it twice. He doesn't really get out and play nearly as much as he used to. John's not going to like this. I think the 6-ball's coming all the way down for a bank. Yep. I think might end up putting a little bit of draw on this to make sure it doesn't go off the 14 into the corner. If you hit it with top, I think you're going to hit the long rail and it might bounce off the 14, carom off of it into the corner pocket and scratch. Yeah, just put a little bit of draw on it. Now he's going to be able to play this 14 ball. Oh, no, that was it. I guess it was, so that's going to be the end of that match. All right, give me just 1 second, everybody. I'm going to go to the bracket and try and get us another match going here pretty quick.